Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a bit. I had to take some time for myself, my mental and physical health, but I'm back now and I have had a lot of time to think about a lot of different things, but today something kind of struck me that I really wanted to talk about, which is going on a relationship detox. Now, you're probably gonna think that I mean with a boy and a girl or talking about dating, but I actually mean with the relationships in your life. I got this kind of unique perspective that I realized that most people can't get, because after I got out of my ICU stay, I literally was unable to communicate with people. There was a day where I couldn't see. There was times where I couldn't speak because I couldn't breathe well. And so I had this kind of, because of all my health issues, I had to step back from a lot of relationships. And it gave me this really unique perspective. Like I said, almost like when you go through, if you've ever done an elimination diet, you take all the bad things out of your diet and then you slowly put things back into your diet and then you see how your body reacts to it. Well, that's kind of what has happened to me this past year, is that I was forced to really have minimal relationships whatsoever. And the Lord really worked through that in the fact that there was probably a lot of relationships that were pretty toxic and I didn't even realize. And having them out of my life and then actually like purposely putting certain relationships back in and testing them out and then not putting them back in or having to put boundaries where I didn't have boundaries has been a really amazing experience for my mental health. And I've realized a lot about my friendships. I've realized the friendships that were really true, the ones who have really been checking on me throughout the past year and a half, the ones who have consistently tried to help and been there, whether I was happy or sad or freaking out or, you know, anything, that they were just kind of by my side. And I've kind of realized that we take on a lot of relationships. It's kind of the same like idea as the minimalism idea that's going around right now, like the whole tiny house minimalism. We take a lot of stuff into our life without purpose or intention. And I think that we have this idea that we have to have a million relationships, especially like with our culture, especially the way that we go about school. Like there's this idea that we have to have a ton of friends. And really, are those friendships adding value or detracting from your life? And I think the only way you can really know this is by taking a step back and really assessing each relationship and saying, man, am I gaining energy from this relationship, or am I constantly walking away feeling exhausted and drained? And when you have a chance to do that, you'll start to really see, maybe this isn't a healthy relationship. Maybe this isn't a relationship that I need to continue with. Again, I think that we need less people in our lives, like close friends, than we actually realize. The people that we really trust, the ones that we give our thoughts to and our hearts to. When we keep handing it out and trying to be best friends with everybody, then the people that we love the most are actually the ones that are getting the least amount of our time. And I realized that in the past couple years, how out of touch I had been, and my priorities were wrong, and the people that I loved the most were getting my least amount of time because I was so focused on all these other things. And now that I've had this time that it was forced upon me, I've really had a time to think about my relationships. And now I'm placing healthy relationships in my life. If I don't have time for a relationship, then I shouldn't be taking it on. I shouldn't be telling the person or acting. It's kind of like dating. You shouldn't be leading someone on. If you don't have the time for a person, like you don't have the time. Like we have limited amount of time. We have limited amount of mental and emotional capacity, and we have to be really aware of those limitations. And I think knowing your limitations is really important in relationships, and being honest with that, because if you take too much into your life, something's gonna give, and it's usually the people that you love the most, because you're like, oh, they'll handle it better. I encourage you to take some time to really assess the relationships in your life. Even if you have to step back for like a week or two and just kind of be like, what value is each of these relationships adding to my life? And maybe what are they taking away? There's always a give and take in a relationship, but sometimes you find that when you take some time away from someone, that they're taking more than they're actually giving, and it's not a mutual relationship, and it's become really toxic and damaging. And I think those relationships can really bring us down, and they're sucking life out of us without us even realizing. So I think we're all afraid to take care of ourselves at times, but being in the unique situation where I'm at, where my health is so unstable and it's so unpredictable, and I have to really protect my health mentally and physically, I'm having this opportunity where I'm being forced to learn my boundaries and to know what I can and cannot handle. And so I'm being forced to accept that I'm a human being and I have limitations, and I have to admit that. So being that I had this forced upon me, I thought it was really interesting and thought it would be a concept that maybe I wanted to throw out to everybody that you might benefit from, because again, not many of us are forced into the situation where you literally have to let go of a bunch of relationships and then add them back in slowly. I hope this helped. This was just my little comeback video for today. I hope that you guys have been doing well. Love you much, and I will talk to you soon.